I'm sure they're having Wii U nightmares as we speak.
Now we finally know what the Nintendo Switch 2 looks like with a promise of an official direct coming April 2nd that I'm assuming is going to show off a lot of game stuff. Here with me to talk about it is my friend Tim. Tim, what's up, man? And what's your quick thoughts on the first look that we got for the Switch 2 today?
I initial thoughts are Nintendo was forced into a corner. I feel a little bit on this one. The Switch 2 was basically known if you were following any type of reset era, gaming leaks, subreddit, all that stuff. So not a ton of surprise. I think they did a good job, but I feel that they held back a lot as well. So, it felt like a minimum effort that like okay, this is out there now. There's nothing we can do about it. So let's give them a little taste. The big one, is still to come. Yeah, but excited overall.
For sure. There definitely was not like a lot to go off of with this because it seemed like Nintendo is just more like acknowledging just yeah, okay, it exists, the leaks are true, but like we'll give you a high def look at it. A lot of these things that we're getting with Switch 2 seem like second nature, kind of, a bigger screen, better controllers and everything here. But the Joy Cons I thought were really cool, Tim. I like the fact that you can just kind of pop them on. You don't have to use the stupid rail system anymore and feel like you're snapping something. I thought that felt kind of cheap on the first Switch there.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like the look of it. The black was pretty sick. The blue and orange highlights on the analog look really good. The snapping is interesting. I'm curious how that's going to work, but you got to trust them that they've tested it out and it's going to be tight and work fine. So it looks sleek. The screen size, I'll have to figure out. I guess I didn't think of it in terms of a Steam Deck, but if you get the Steam Deck screen size, but the thinness of the Switch, that seems like a good combo to me. I guess my biggest concern is the triggers and how they're going to behave
Yes.
because that they really need to nail that. I couldn't tell from that video. I don't know if you got a good feel of that
Yeah,
from the
I
video.
was. It's funny you said that because like I was looking for that too because I want to know, is it just a button or is it going to be like an actual like trigger that has some give to it and stuff that is going to feel a lot better. I mean, you'd have to think, the Switch One coming out, what was it, 2017, I guess. They've had a long time to kind of see competitors and stuff and innovate and make this even better, hopefully. But yeah, I thought about the triggers too. It's funny that you said that because I think that like the shoulder buttons you mentioned about when you take the Joy Cons off, those seem like they're a lot more comfortable and better. If you have Metroid or something, I mean, I don't want to be using A to shoot or whatever, or the real kind of static clicky like shoulder buttons that the first Switch had. Which I mean, I'm assuming probably safe bet that Metroid
Or whatever,
for
Prime 4 or whatever,
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm probably safe bet that that's a launch title or very close to it. I would think.
Yeah, I'm sure, and it'll definitely be interesting too, right? Because it's kind of an Xbox Series S X situation where Nintendo isn't going to be bailing on the original Switch, so
Right.
I think you're looking at a year or two minimum of synchronous launches. I think most of their first party stuff is gonna launch on both. I hopefully they take, heavy advantage of the Switch 2's new power, and we have no idea of what that is yet. It's obviously gonna be a step up, but like backwards compatibility is nice in a way, but there's also the concern of, are they gonna leave 100+ million Switch consoles? That I'm not so sure of.
I'm actually glad that you brought up about the exclusives because I think they make a note at the end of the trailer that they dropped today to be like, yeah, backwards compatible, and like they show the Switch 2 and the first Switch, and like above the Switch 2, it says something like can play Switch games and Switch 2 games or something. So I kind of wonder like if they really want people to upgrade to Switch 2, and I guess that'll be the test. I think that one of the first things that they have to do is maybe show people why they have to migrate to Switch 2, and I think that the backward compatible ploy should work. And I think there was an article I'd read today, I can't recall where, that Nintendo's like really, they've been gearing up, and this is probably why it took so long to kind of reveal all this, was that they're going to plan on having like 20 million units or something like that year one. I guess we'll see if that actually happens. But if they're planning for that many consoles, if they come out and say, hey, Mario Odyssey sequel, is that Switch 2 exclusive? And I would think no, but you got to wonder like what the selling point for Switch 2 is going to be then, because the typical people, the moms of like the young kids, what's going to be the draw for them? Because that's going to be the biggest audience by far. Like, what's the biggest draw to get them to get a Switch 2 if they just bought a Switch or have had a Switch for a while, and if Switch 2 games are going to work on the first one?
Yeah, I think I'm going to disagree. I think they're going to not leave that install base behind. They're in a jam, right? This isn't the Switch is a home run.
Yeah.
It's a huge success. Part of them probably doesn't want to release the Switch 2, but the hardware is very aged, and yeah, I'm sure they're having Wii U nightmares as we speak. And I think that's why they named it Switch 2. They slapped that 2 on there because everybody knows what that means. And um, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm sure they're still a little worried about it though.
I mean, for as much as I thought Super Nintendo Switch would be an awesome name, it does, that would have probably put them in that same Wii U problem. I think if you just called it a Super Nintendo Switch, it sounds like iPhone 16 and an iPhone 16 Pro kind of like similarity there. I think it's interesting because I can't imagine, not that Nintendo cares about pushing like graphical fidelity that much, but you would have to think that they don't want Metroid Prime 4 to run like shit, on a Switch. Although I don't know.
Boy, yeah. Well, okay. I mean, maybe they do Metroid is like cross compatible. Maybe more. I don't know though. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I
I,
just
I think
I feel like if they want Switch 2 like to really be, hey, this is the next thing that you have to buy. I wonder if Mario is not a launch title, but if they would consider making that exclusive and have that be the big draw to have everyone upgrade.
it would be a reason. I definitely see the logic there. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, it's really kind of disappointing that they didn't. I mean, I guess they teased Mario Kart. I didn't recognize that track. I'm not a Mario Kart guy, so I assume that track is not from 8. Is that confirmed, or is that
I I,
you
I
know?
so I couldn't tell you either. I'm probably even less a Mario Kart fan than you are, but I thought that um I kind of thought, okay, they're showing this. It's probably not Mario Kart 8 for the upteenth time. And I guess it sounds like, from what I read anyway, that was a new Mario Kart game, because, like I mentioned actually before the show here, is that apparently they changed the look of Donkey Kong. I don't know if you looked at that, Tim, or saw any like tweets about that on X at all, but like Donkey Kong looks very much like the movie that we just got for the Mario movie. And I don't know if, like, off the top of your head you'd probably be like, well, that just looks like the same Donkey Kong, doesn't it? But it actually, he looks really odd. There's actually a screen capture of him floating out there that's kind of strangely hilarious. I'll pop it up on the feed here after we're done talking and everything. But
So wait, was Donkey Kong in this trailer? Because I didn't remember seeing
he's
him.
in it. He's not showcased. Like at one point, I think
Okay.
Mario is at the front and like Donkey Kong is behind him or something like that. So I'm assuming there's new Mario Kart maybe at launch, if not shortly after. And then I think we all expect there to be a new Mario game at some point. We know about Metroid Prime 4, and just anything else that maybe, Tim, offhand, that you've thought. I don't know if your notes covered this, but games that maybe Nintendo might drop next. Is there any old franchises that they maybe need to dig up and drop a new game for? It's been a while. I don't know if you want a new Professor Layton game or something on Switch 2
Oh
or something
well,
like
you're pulling at my heartstrings with Professor Layton. But I think there's definitely a new Professor Layton game I think coming out this year anyway. So it's already announced. So it may come to
I
the
didn't even know
Switch
that.
too. I forget what the title is, but there's one definitely coming. I think. from I think Nintendo, the one thing that they will have learned from the Switch is if you launch with a 3D Mario and I mean they had Breath of the Wild. I don't think we get, obviously with Tears of the Kingdom just coming out a year or two ago. I don't think
We're
they
not
hit us
getting a
with the one,
Zelda.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to hit us with that one, two, but I think we get a Metroid, Mario, 3D Mario, one, two punch, and who can resist that? I mean, I'm not going to be able to. If I can get one, I will buy it. I'm only, I won't be a heavy user. It won't be my main gaming platform, but I'll check the hardware out, and a 3D Mario is like, day one buy for me.
For as little as I've played that, Mario is the one draw for me. So I guess we're kind of an interesting perspective because I mean I think we both appreciate and like Nintendo a lot, but definitely not. I wouldn't say I'm not thinking about Nintendo 24/7, but I definitely would play a new Metroid. I definitely would play a new Mario, like the big hitters and stuff. Some of them, the more I know, Tim, you're a big Pokemon fan, so I don't know if you're gonna jump onto that or not. But
Yeah, I will not be playing that. No, that's a hard no.
um,
Yeah, trying to think if there's any other like
well,
kind of
how
deep.
about this, Tim? Will any franchises that have been off Nintendo jump onto Nintendo for the Switch 2, or is it not going to be powerful enough, and is it going to be the same story as Switch 1, basically?
Well, first, I'm gonna circle back just for a second. One Nintendo franchise that if they put it on there and like, this actually existed, I'd go crazy. Is a new Punch Out. I would
Oh yeah,
that would be I still play the Wii Punch Out a lot. Yeah, I have it synced up to my arcade stick here, running emulated. That game is fantastic. I love it. So a new Punch Out, Nintendo,
freaking
you'd
sweet.
win me over. Yeah, other franchises. I will for yeah. So probably not a great person to ask to because I will only play Nintendo games on this, and if I could emulate those games, I'd play those on PC and I wouldn't even need a Switch. But um, I don't. I have a Steam Deck. I have a PC. I got an Xbox. Third party isn't going to do a lot for me. Just other
So
people are, I'm sure, going to be into it, but that's just
so
it's
we'll
not going to be a huge selling point for me.
me and you will basically dip our toes in whenever there's like a big um,
Yeah. Yep.
tent pole Nintendo game dropping, which
Yep.
is what it
Yeah.
is. But every time there's a new console dropping, I'm always real excited for it. So, all right, we're kind of getting toward the end of the topic. Again, there's always so much we can kind of squeeze out of that trailer. It really wasn't much. So, a big topic, a price guess for this thing.
I think it's 400. The tech, I think it's based on like the 30 series NVIDIA. I don't even think it's based off the 40 series. So I think they get it to 400. Maybe maybe that's optimistic, but I think that's where it lands. I don't know. I think that's where it lands.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Jez Corden dropped. He had a poll on his X account where I think he asked what we thought not us but just general populace what the Switch 2 would cost, and I'm pretty sure the 400 option was the highest option. I can't see them going higher than that, especially with things being how they are these days, and um, expecting it to sell well. I can't recall what the Wii U, just to kind of compare those two again, what that was priced at versus the original Wii. I feel like the Wii U was actually maybe like $50 more or something like that on
It
launch.
I think it had two models. It had an 8 gig model and a 32 gig model. And I
Right.
think the 8 gig was 300 and I think the 32 gig was 350. Fairly certain on that. I got the 32 gig day one, I had it the day it launched. I like the Wii U. I think it's a great system. Didn't catch on unfortunately with the name, but yeah, I was playing new Super or whatever the 3D Super Mario 3D World. I think I was playing it last
Yeah.
night actually. So
Nice.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just I haven't played a ton of Wii U, but I think that's one system that it's maybe 10 years down the road that its games are going to be insanely rare for. It's actually a system that I try to grab like maybe a sealed copy of this or a sealed copy of that every now and again just to put away for a rainy day. But yeah, the
Yeah.
other weird thing about that system is I'm pretty sure that like after a while that like Wii U's go bad or something, or they really aren't very durable or something like that.
That does ring a bell vaguely.
So yeah, I think we're both in agreement. 399 sounds like the hot spot there. I think it will be really interesting to see if so it's getting revealed in April and officially I guess, and I'm assuming I can't recall what the time from reveal of the Switch was to actual launch of it was back in the day. I feel like it was maybe because I know it dropped in March of 2017, so I feel like the Switch was announced maybe like November, December of 16. I can't really recall that either. I have to look that up, but I'll put a little graphic up to show where exactly or when exactly that was shown. But I do.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. I think it was November, and you got to remember they were in a way different spot than they were now
Right.
because the Wii U was a bomb, and they needed to turn the page quick. So they were eager. From what I remember, they were eager to show the Switch off. Where this one, they were seemingly fingers scratching into the floor, dragged to
Yeah.
reveal something.
Yeah. So we're going off. That was probably like a 4 month like official reveal and then drop. So like when do you think this thing's coming out, Tim? I'm feeling like if we're seeing it for real in April, then maybe we're looking at like maybe like a June release, maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense, I guess. I mean, yeah, when are they going to start taking pre-orders?
Right.
Yeah, they should release the dang thing. I mean, they've been keep people waiting, have been waiting a long time. So, but yeah, Nintendo just does what they do. They don't care.
I
Yeah, if I had to, if like
if you had to
gun to my
guess.
head, yeah, I'd say April. I'll say July. I don't know. That seems like a horrible month to do it, but I'll pick July. I'm sure I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good. I think that definitely a summer window. I don't think you show it in April and then drop it in like August or September or something like that. I feel like
Yeah,
that's too far away. Um,
yeah.
but I don't think that like I wonder if maybe Nintendo's scared by GTA 6. Maybe that'll be on the machine, Tim.
No, that will not be. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be counting your stars on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Here, real quick. We're not jumping into Xbox Developer Direct officially here, but um, any Xbox game launches. Does the Gears of War collection come? That's apparently rumored. Does that come out on a Switch too, Tim? Is there something like that? Is a Halo Master Chief collection?
Yeah, oh boy. I would suspect Microsoft will support it. I mean, I think Doom, I could see the new Doom.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I can 100% see that. I mean, and I would honestly expect the Call of Duty this year. If they can get it on there and running, they'll release it.
Everything from
But
Xbox.
yeah, yeah, the supporting the Switch, I don't mind so much. I don't. I think that one's less harmful to Xbox than the PlayStation, but that's probably a different conversation for another day.
All right, let's end it with this, Tim. We've been going for about 20 24 minutes. It flew by. Excitement level for this thing. I am currently sitting at a solid 6 out of 10 right now.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit more excited than that. Nintendo Special, they do fantastic things.
For sure.
They make a lot out of little, and I do respect them for that. I don't agree with a lot of their practices, but I will not be able to resist the new 3D Mario, so they got me. But assuming the Mario looks good, which I have no doubts it will, I'd go between a 7 and an 8. And I like the hardware. I thought it looked pretty sleek. So I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but again, I inevitably know that I'll get it, and I'll probably turn it on 2 to 3 times a year, and it'll sit the rest of the year.
I think that's probably what's weighing my score down to a 6. Is I'm just thinking like is it really, it's going to be great whenever it comes out, and then whatever exclusive is with it, I'll be hyped for. And then, is it going to be off by 2026 and turn on again, sparingly throughout the next 5 or so years and stuff. And that kind of dampens it a little bit for me. But like, I'm definitely excited to try the controller. Is there a new gimmick with it? Like, will they do something else? Is the HD rumble improved somehow? Is there something else going on with it besides just it's a bigger, fancier black Switch? I guess we'll have to see, but definitely very, very excited. A huge year in gaming this year. Can't wait. There's so much to talk about. And it's really cool that here in January we get to kick it off with Nintendo. It feels right here. So, Tim, anything else on that?
Ah, nope, that's it. Yeah, I'm excited.